so tired of waiting. I won't lie to myself anymore. I know better now than before. Yeah, no more slowing down. I'm ready, I'm just ready to go now. Can't waste another day, I got it figured out. I'd be a fool if I ain't shoot for the stars. I've been down bad.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on with you there, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. Six told me the other day, yesterday at the podcast, it's like RoJay is trying to get with you, man.
Man, it's been a long time coming. I'm so happy for this moment right now. You don't understand.
Hey, man, me too, bro. It's organic and it's divine, bro.
Oh yeah. So I normally don't write questions down, but I don't want to miss nothing on this opportunity. So if you see me referring to notes, it's just because I don't want to miss anything. It's not
You
because I'm
good,
not
man?
familiar with what you got going on, but just so that I don't miss anything.
Absolutely.
So first of all, how are you doing? Because I know it's been a crazy past 2 years for sure for you. How's everything going
Yeah.
right now?
I'm doing incredible, man. Just really just taking in real time just how this song is like, resonating with the people and just, the community and my peers really realizing like, oh my gosh, like yo, things are happening now. You know what I mean? And just
Right.
having this, like I said, this song with the context of the song doing what it's doing. It's the first time I made a song that wasn't a R&B typical love song. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And
right.
it's really about my journey and really about my life and like so I'm just doing incredible. I'm just watching God just just bless, just send the blessings.
On it, and you are already then creeped into the top 10 with this
Yes,
record. Now,
sir.
not that you're a stranger to the top 10, but this
Right.
one I feel is a special record. Why do you feel this particular record is hitting so hard with the masses?
You know what? I gotta shout out my brothers who made the record, KP, Brody, Brody Brown, and just them and us being like a small unit and knowing exactly what it is, like knowing where I was in my life when I was creating, this and the whole album, this whole new era. And just knowing that it comes from a real place. I think that the thing that's great about this record is so honest and it's so real,
Hmm.
and I feel like I said, the topic is not just like love and all this. It's like, no, it's like I'm trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get
Right.
my wings. I'm trying to fly. I'm trying to get to that. I'm trying to break free. And I think a lot of people can just relate to that. So yeah, it's connecting. It's doing what it's supposed to do.
I'm loving it, man. Now you work behind the scenes with like as a songwriter, of course, for major artists. How has that experience shaped the way that you approach your artistry?
For me now, and doing it, which is crazy now, it's like 10 plus years.
Right.
Um, it's something that I can like tap into now where it's like, you know what, let me put myself in different shoes. You know what I mean? And just writing from a different perspective. I think what's dope about creating and, just music in general is that there's no rules to it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
So
right,
it's like
right.
so it's like, even if I'm making something for myself, I could put myself in the mindset of like a certain artist and be like, you know what? Based on this artist and what they do and what I know, how would they approach this record? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that has helped me and molded me into a, songwriter producer that I am now.
Okay. And of course, with writing comes like the vulnerability. The
Absolutely.
artist is like this showcase and this little showmanship type persona. How do you balance vulnerability with creating something that still feel universally relatable?
As long as myself is in it, you know what I mean? As long as there's something that I can connect with in the song and it feels true to me,
Hmm.
I feel like, as far as the creative part of making it feel relatable to the masses or whatever, that just happens naturally. But I personally have to connect with the song and believe what I'm singing. My
Yeah.
mom, who she's a singer, songwriter herself, but also
Hmm.
the choir director. So I grew up on a strict program.
Right.
But she always says like, when she sings, she's like, I don't sing it if I don't feel it. I gotta
Right.
feel it. And that's like, I've just adopted that from her and just taken it as my job and, as a servant in music, you know what I'm saying? If I'm not connecting to the music and if I'm not performing it, like I'm not connecting it, it's not gonna do it's justice. So I gotta feel it and relate to
Gotcha. Now, of course, I got several songs. We're gonna get to all of them. I promise you, we're gonna get to all of them. But I do want to know, like, how do you what's a song basically in your catalog that like it should have been bigger?
it. You know what? That's kind of hard too, because it's like, subjective, but it's for me, hmm. I could say that some of the earlier songs on like Can We Talk,
Hmm.
I think they did what they were supposed to do in that the buzz record. Like they definitely got me buzzing in the industry. But I
Right.
do think that some of them like Let Me are that's a really big song in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
I still think that even with me continuing my journey and growing as an artist, that when I do hit a certain point, it's gonna go. Everybody's gonna start going back to the
Right.
beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all the songs will get us justice. But like I said, there's nothing that I'll change in my career either. As far as my journey, I feel like
Right.
everything happens for a reason. Everything is divine, and I feel like now with Fly. I feel like now it's starting to really catch on and take off and doing exactly what I'm just explaining.
I got you. Now, I think I tapped into your journey with the F with me,
Yes,
that era.
sir.
I missed the launch, but I think I came in on the F with me era, and then I really like tapped in when you dropped Girls Like You. I was like, this dude right here, like, what is going on? And you had a show scheduled for Nashville, and I
Yes.
was like, I'm talking about, I got my tickets right away. I was ready to
Oh
to,
my
to make
God.
this hour and 45-minute drive, and this
Oh
is like,
no.
no, we're not gonna do it. I've been hurt for like 2.5 years, bro. I have yet to see you live, but the Girls Like You record, I feel was a special time for you too. Do
It
you
was.
feel that that was like really the time when you were starting to like find your footing, or like you found your tribe?
Mhm. It was. To me, you know what? To go back on that last question that you asked me now and bringing up, girls like you in that whole era of POV,
Mm,
that EP. I will say I do think that era of music didn't get the looks that I thought it was going to get. Now,
mm,
there's things that play into that. Of course, I feel like "Girls Like You" is a huge song. I feel like "I Need You" was a huge song. I feel like
mm.
"Lonely" was a huge song. I feel like "Whoa" was a huge song. So I feel like there's a lot of songs on that project where I'm like, yo, they were some hitters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But I feel like what was so good about that era, I didn't know that was going to be like the last project that I was going to do with RCA.
Okay.
And I'll be honest and transparent in saying that, RCA didn't really push the button on that last project. It's not like we went to radio or anything like that. But I will
Right.
say, with the culture, with the fans, with everybody, that project definitely did the legwork and the groundwork to set me up for where I'm at now.
Okay.
And I'm glad that we put that project out because, like you said, Girls Like You was actually like it was under the radar, but it was still like a under the radar hit. It was like,
Right.
if you knew it, you knew it, and
Right.
if you knew it, you was hip to it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So it was dope because a lot of people still give me my flowers for that project in
Yeah.
particular.
Yeah, POV was like some work. There was some work on that one, man. I ain't even gonna hold you on that one. There was some work on that joint right there. So like, I have always valued the underrated, the unsung, so to speak. Even though you're just starting out like the under the radar type situations.
Yeah.
And actually, my site, MiddleChild Promotions, I started it in 2002, and that was
Oh
literally
wow.
like the purpose of that. Like, I even had a segment called Under the Radar. Like, y'all may be rocking out with these people that the culture, the mainstream is telling y'all they're hitting, but this is somebody that's got my ear, and I need him to
Yeah.
get your ear too. So like, yeah, I've really been vibing out, and it's crazy. I just really need to say that to you.
Thank you, man.
I
I'm
know you've
listen.
been.
I'm gonna get down to Alabama, man. I'm
I'm
gonna do a
trying to
show
get
for
you down. I'm
Alabama.
trying to get you down here. Like, we're gonna talk about that in a second too, because I really do want to get you down here.
Yeah.
I do want to mention some of these collaborations that you have done, like
Yep.
from Eric Bellinger, Camper. LA, Chantel May, Jazz, Karis, I think her name,
Yeah,
Karis,
yep,
yeah.
Jazz
So
Carriage, yep.
you've actually done a lot of collaborations in addition to the singing, the songwriting, and your personal projects. What's something that you say that you've learned from doing collaborations with other artists?
You know what? I learned that it's a space where everybody can be their own genius.
Okay.
And from every person that you just named and more that I have worked with is just like, just watching everybody work and be comfortable and knowing like everybody's a superstar. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And knowing that like, hey, we're all stars and we all can bring what we offer to the table, and that's what makes it special.
Right.
So for me, like, it's always great working and collaborating because I just get to pull from other people's perspectives, and I pay attention to that a lot. Back to what we were talking about with songwriting and everything like that. There's no rules to it, so you can look at somebody's process, you can look at how somebody thinks or somebody's life or whatever the case is, and you could pull from that. But
Okay.
I just love it, and it's fun too. It's always good to just share a space with other creatives that love music as much as you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just motivating, it's inspiring, and it helps you push each other. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like it's not, of course, the music industry is a competition, but it's not a competition as well too. We're really in
Hmm.
competition with ourselves too. So it's like you just look at, you take the good things and just be like, okay, cool. Like I wouldn't ever have approached a song like that before, until I got with this person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now let me take a little bit of that when I go back
Hmm.
to, making my own stuff or when I'm working by myself. Let me implement that and see how that works for me. So,
Right.
it's amazing. I love the collaboration part.
Okay. Now you jumped out of your comfort zone, so to speak. I'm gonna say that. I'm not sure if you did with your track "Shut Up."
Oh, no. Well,
And
you want to know
tell,
something?
tell me about it.
Completely in my comfort zone.
Okay, okay. So, like with that, from what I have had learned from you up until that point, for me, it was a different lane, so to speak.
Absolutely.
And I was kind of like, what's going on? But at the same time, I was like, he got something to get off his chest. I
Yeah,
need to
right.
know, like, what was like the driving factor behind Shut Up?
So let me just bring you back. So 2023, that's when I really first started Shut Up. And like I said, that was either a week after that or the same week is when I got the news that I was leaving RCA.
Okay.
Um, Now, Shut Up really came from a space before I got that news. I was already in a space of like, yo, I'm just tired of everybody telling me what to do, tired of
Hmm.
everybody telling me how to live or how to be toned. I'm like, I grew up in a household that was just so diverse with music, so diverse
Hmm.
with different genres and things like that. So there's a side of me that, of course the public always seen the R&B side, but they
Hmm.
never got to know the side of me that's funk based, the side of me that's,
Right.
musicianship for real and where that comes from church, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
in this song it really started this era of just me tapping into like, yo, I gotta do exactly what it is that I want to do because time is limited on this earth and it's a gift. And
Right.
if you're not fulfilling, you know what I'm saying, your purpose, then you're just wasting time.
Right.
So that was the whole snowball for me with Shut Up. And but it's completely in my comfort zone. It's just new to the public.
Right. To the
Yeah.
listeners, so to speak. So speaking of that,
Yeah.
because you said you have these many sides to Tone, if you could
Yep.
do a collaboration with no rules,
Mm.
any era,
Hmm.
any artist, who are you picking and what vibe are you going for?
You know what? Because this answer for me is gonna change every day.
Okay. Okay.
But I think today, how I'm feeling, man, I would love to go back into like the '90s era with Teddy Riley
Okay.
and go on a New Jack Swing run because I feel like it was so like when I think about like remember the time, I'm just
Mhm.
like, oh my God, that was such a potent era for our culture. You know what I'm saying? Like the New Jack
Right.
Swing era. But that's just my answer today.
Okay. Just today. And I would tell you, I always tell people I'm 80s raised, 90s, 80s made, 90s raised, because when I tell
Yeah.
you I feel nothing matched that. Like we had so many artists to pick from, so many groups
Yeah,
to pick from, and it wasn't like this stand culture, so to speak. Like you had to pick one and go with that
one
one. Like you could
artist.
enjoy everybody, right?
That's one
So,
thing I love too. I'm a big fan of like I love the 70s too, but like the late 70s into the 80s, but I love
mhm.
the whole 80s era. It was just like, oh my, I felt like that's when I was supposed to be born, but it's just like it's cool. I got put now in the present.
Well, you can always it always comes back around. So I think you can still
Exactly.
tap into it as and being a singer, being a songwriter, and tapping into emotions and relationships a lot. I do want to know what's a red flag that you ignore way too often, even though you know better.
Um, I'll be honest with you, because now I don't ignore them.
Okay.
Um, I think you know what, when anything feels forced and it doesn't sit right within my spirit,
Hmm.
it has to everything has to align for me to just be able to act on it. And I think
Hmm.
too, because I will say something that I used to do a lot was I didn't tell people no a lot. I didn't like to tell people no. I wanted to be able to make things happen for people because I actually love and care about people and the people I would work with. So I'll be like, yo, you know what? Even if it's draining for me and it's a lot on my plate, I'm gonna just, make it happen. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I learned from that is just at the end of the day, you know, you just dissatisfying yourself. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you gotta sometimes you gotta be selfish, you know what I'm saying, in a way where it's like, hey, this is your time, this is your career, and you can't waste it. So I've been in a lot of situations of like time being wasted as well too.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And
Okay.
just off of the strength of just trying to be a good person, you know what I mean? But
Gotcha.
at the end of the day, it just left me feeling drained, exhausted. So when it's time to get to my stuff, it's just kind of like, I'm all over the
Yeah.
place. So that's
Yeah.
that's definitely a red flag for me. It's just like, gotta say no when it's time to say no, and
I
know
feel
when to
it.
put yourself first. You know what I mean?
I feel it. Is
Yeah.
there any record that you go back and listen to where you just be like, man, I was going through it. Like where like listening back, you think about like I thought in the moment I thought I was just right, but I was going through it. Like
So there's a
have you played
record
one of
that I
those records?
yeah, there's definitely a record. Oh my Lord. There's a record I made for this K-pop artist. Well, I made it for myself. Let me start there. And I put it
Okay.
out on YouTube. It's called All I Got.
Okay.
And this K-pop artist named Baekhyun, real big artist, he heard the song and then eventually I cut it on him. But I wrote that song because I was in a really toxic relationship where every day was like a argument for no reason. It was like one of those. I was on tour. It was one of those. Show me the room. I'm like, yo, look, there's 14 of us men in this one room because that's all we can afford. And
Right.
we
Right.
got a
Right.
show tomorrow. Why are you fighting with me right now? This is crazy. Like just straight yelling and arguing. It was just a super toxic relationship. So that song is called All I Got because I was literally giving it all I got, man. And I was just feeling like,
Gotcha.
what is going on, bro?
That
I was
is
going through it then.
insane. Insane. So what's something interesting that we would what's something that we would find interesting about you that's not even music related?
Man, I have a super deeply rooted love for automotives and just building. Like, I got a ton of motorcycles back home that I'm working on, and just
Okay.
cars, that project cars and things like that. So I'm a real grease monkey. Like, I really like the mechanic side of things and just rolling my sleeves up and just, you know what I'm saying, working in the
Right.
garage. And just,
Okay.
sipping something, put some music on. Yeah.
Real simple. Real
Yeah,
cool.
that's
That's
it.
what's up, man. Like I have really enjoyed just this moment for real. I don't even know. I'm trying not to sound like a real groupie right now,
No, no, bro.
but
I appreciate you, bro. Thank
yeah,
you,
but
man.
I rocks out. So when I get to actually finally get to talk to these people that I've been like vibing with and just
Yeah,
loving and trying to share this thing, this music,
yeah.
because music speaks to so many of us. Like it just I just
Language,
want
bro.
them, yeah, I just want you the artist to know that your work is not in vain, and like
Thank you.
we out here, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
No, I really appreciate that. And I was telling Six the other day, what's great about my journey is like just watching my fans and the base just continue to grow, continue to grow,
Mm,
continue to grow. And for me, it's still like I don't even know how to process it sometimes because it's still surreal that it's like,
mm,
people come up to me in the most random places. Like I was just in New York and out front of my hotel, some dude was literally walking on his journey, on his whole wherever he was going. Walked straight up to me, was like, "Bro, this is so crazy right now. Look what I'm playing on my phone." And he turned his phone around, and Fly was playing. He was like, I was listening to it right now. I just looked up and I seen you. I was like, I had to come, tell you that I appreciate you. And so it's so crazy to me, man. And just watching like this fan base, knowing that I have this support, you know what I'm saying?
right,
That's what really like, it's like, whoa, I really got to process that. Cause, in my mind, I'm still the same kid that
right,
was like, grew up working out the room at the house. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
You know what I mean? So it's just crazy to see, God allowing it to just touch people and bless people and just serve, that's my
Yeah.
biggest thing. The album is dropping May 15th, so
Oh
pretty
man.
much
Okay.
next month on the 15th the album is dropping. So I'm in such a good space and just such a, this is a more refined and new era where I feel like, yo, I have everything to stand on. I got a message, you know what I'm saying? Whereas
Yeah.
before it was like, I'm finding it.
Yeah.
But now it
Oh,
just this feels like that kick the door down,
yeah.
take the industry by storm year.
Yeah. Well, I've watched this industry evolve. Like I
Yeah.
said, I've been a fan of the music my whole life, but I've been in this thing 20, what is 26? So we'll say 26 years at this point. So I've seen all the evolutions from the labels to the indies to the digitals to the like
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of it. And I know it's a fight. I know it's a daily fight, but
The
hopefully
yearly fight.
yeah, a yearly fight. So just keep it going because like I said, it's not nobody's not looking. Nobody's not listening.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
sometimes it feels like that, but like just keep doing your thing, man, and
Yeah.
we gonna rock out. Trust
Bro,
it.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. And we gonna make this work, bro. I gotta get down to Alabama, bro. And
Yes,
we
sir.
gonna make it work, man. We gonna
Yes,
make it work.
sir. Well, I'm gonna hit him up actually when I get off with you just to get the conversation going, and if we can make some, I promise you it's gonna go crazy. So we'll see what we can do.
Perfect. Perfect, man. My brother, man. It's a
Yes,
pleasure.
sir.